All right, let's jump right in. Now, when you think of a place, you usually think of one single identity, right? Well, Seletar in Singapore, it's different. It's not just a location on a map. It's this incredible story of two totally opposite worlds somehow living right on top of each other.
So on one side, you have this amazing old world charm. We're talking quiet, leafy neighborhoods, those classic black and white colonial bungalows, and parks that honestly feel like they've been plucked straight from the English countryside. But then on the other side, you've got New World tech, a cutting-edge aviation hub where giants like Rolls-Royce build massive jet engines, and where all of Singapore's private jets hang out.
So that brings us to the big question, the one we're really digging into today. How on earth does a place that feels so steeped in quiet colonial history also happen to be powering the absolute future of global flight? It's a paradox, and we're going to unpack it. To really get what's going on now, we have to rewind. Let's start with the foundations of that old world vibe that Seletar has. Long before any of this modern development, the story of this place, even its name, starts with the Orang Seletar, the people of the Straits. They were indigenous sea nomads, living their lives on boats, weaving through the thick mangroves and rivers of the area. And the transformation over the last 100 years or so, it's been absolutely staggering. I mean, the area went from just sprawling rubber plantations to becoming the site of RAF Seletar in 1928, which was Singapore's very first airbase. It was then taken over by the Japanese Navy during World War II, then handed over to Singapore in '71 when the British left, and then boom, 2008 hits, and this game-changing master plan to create the Aerospace Park is launched. Yeah, that 2008 master plan, that's the pivot point. That's when things really changed. So let's talk about the rise of the new world and how a global tech hub was built right out of the bones of that old airbase. Okay, and what's so important to understand is that this did not happen by accident. This was a deliberate move. The government completely reimagined that old airbase, turning it into the Seletar Aerospace Park, a super specialized hub designed to pull in the biggest and best aviation companies from all over the planet. Now, the main business here, the real heart of the operation, is something called MRO. It stands for Maintenance, Repair, and Overhaul. Basically, it's all the super high-skill, incredibly precise work that keeps every single aircraft flying safely. Honestly, think of it as the brain surgery of the aviation world. It's that critical. And let me tell you, this strategy worked. It attracted the absolute titans of the industry. You've got Rolls-Royce assembling their enormous Trent aircraft engines right here. You've also got huge players like Airbus and Pratt & Whitney setting up shop. This isn't some local repair yard, it's a global powerhouse. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. How do these two completely different worlds actually exist together day to day? Let's take a look at what it's really like to experience this Senilat paradox on the ground. So what really happens when you plant a high-tech aerospace hub right next to a sleepy, historic neighborhood? What does that mix actually feel like when you're there? Well, for starters, you've got the high-flying side of things, literally. Seletar Airport is the one and only hub for private jets in Singapore. It's the place where the corporate jets and luxury chartered flights come and go. But, and you have to appreciate the irony here, for a place that's all about elite travel, it is notoriously hard to get to if you don't have a car. I'm not kidding, there are 0 MRT stations in the entire district. It's a total public transit dead zone. And the local spots really reflect this split personality. You can go for a fancy dinner at the Oval, where they've turned these gorgeous old colonial bungalows into high-end restaurants. But right nearby, you've got Jalan Kayu, a street famous for its local roti prata that has a legit cult following. And of course, for the aviation geeks, the airport Broadwalk is the perfect spot to watch all those private jets. And then there's the nature. I love this description of Hampstead Wetlands Park. Someone called it a hidden gem that looks like the English countryside. And it really captures that old world feel. It's this quiet, rustic park built on old marshland, sitting right next door to all that futuristic aerospace tech. So when you put all of these pieces together, the history, the tech, the lifestyle, Seletar becomes something more than just a district. It really becomes a symbol of Singapore's entire strategy for the future. Here's the big takeaway. Seletar is like a living, breathing blueprint of Singapore's whole national game plan in miniature. It's a masterclass in how to carefully, lovingly preserve heritage and green spaces, while at the exact same time pushing for aggressive, high-tech economic modernization. Seletar seems to prove that this delicate balancing act is possible.
but it does make you wonder, and it raises a much bigger question for cities all over the world. As they keep growing and modernizing, can the past and the future really share the same space? Or does one eventually have to win?